A great day today, and if you traded, we're very successful. Excited to go over today's price action with you guys on the trades I took. Sorry, I haven't been very consistent this week. I missed Monday, I missed yesterday. It's been a busy week. I wasn't able to get to the video yesterday, and I didn't really trade much anyway because I had a busy day. But that being said, I'm very excited to go over today. I had a monster day, 30 points. So I'm excited to go over the trades that I took and kind of some of the better setups that I saw. You could have had an absolute killing today. And I'm hoping that some of the viewers watching did. As always, shout out Al Brooks. His course will be down below. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading this strategy. And a huge shout out to my mentor, Troy H. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading at all. So huge shout out to both those guys. And I'm just going to jump into it, try to make this short today. As always, purple lines are previous day high, previous day low. I marked out the open. I'll get into that. And then this orange line is the pre-market or Globex low. And the pre-market Globex high, it's somewhere up here. I'm pretty sure I may have just deleted it because it was about the same as the previous day high. But we open up, as you guys can see, there's a huge, this is, I think, over 50 points drop down, or at the open. Yeah, over 50 points down to start off the day, with all the tension with Israel and Iran and there's a lot going on in the Middle East right now with Israel bombing Iran, and it caused the market kind of drop today, as you guys can see and as you guys know, if you guys paid attention. But today starts off with a good 2 pushes up, and this is pretty significant, over 17 points up on 1 and 2. Honestly, you could argue that this needs a second leg at some point. But one thing that you definitely really know, and something that I've realized a lot with trading, is that usually when you get a good start like this off to the day and then it ends up reversing, you'll at some point get a trend reversal in the upward direction of where it starts, or the downward direction, which it ends up doing. But just interesting to see. Huge push up, and then it reverses, and you get this 4-bar micro channel with a lot of strength factors. You have micro gaps, tick gaps, of course, 4 bars, so it's a distance factor and also a time factor on top of that. Great rip down, over 20 points. And what really sold it for me was 5 and 6 have really good closes on their high with strong IBS. So I was looking at this thinking that it needed a second leg. This is probably my favorite trade setup is this exact trade right here. You have a 4-bar micro channel, either up or down. You get a pullback failure, as you can see on 7. It tries to pull back and it just completely fails. 8 does the same thing, tries to pull back and fails, so you know a second leg is incoming. I sold the close of 8 and took a 10-point profit on 10. I sold a little bit. It hit my TP right at the beginning of 9, or a little bit of the rip down. And of course, I could have, stayed in. And I don't know why that isn't deleting. I could have stayed in and probably made, I think, about 19 points, but I was fine with 10. It was half of this bar. So you get 1, 2 pushes down, and then you quickly get a double bottom trend reversal. And like I said, you could make an argument for selling the close of 13, but that'd be looking for a third leg, and that's just not in my strategy. I like trading second legs, breakout follow through method. I don't like touching third legs. It's very risky. So you have 2 pushes down to start off the day, but still thinking about the 17 point push up to start off the day. And then you get a nice tight trend reversal. And 14 has a very good micro gap and has very strong IBS. I think it was in the mid to high 80s. So this, you can make an argument of needing a second leg, but at least for me, I didn't take it because I thought maybe this overall rip down on the 15-minute chart, this is over 30 points. 2 pushes down, might need 1 more push. I think after you see 14, you know that this is a trend reversal and you could go back up. So I thought about buying 16, definitely after it kind of tries to go back down and fails. And you could have made an absolute killing if you stuck in, you could have made 40 ripper up. But I didn't take it because I just wasn't liking it after, I was trying to trading against the regime to start off the day. But you end up getting a trend reversal, and you get 1, pull back 2, pull back 3, even pull back 4 pushes up with a very tight channel. Once it pushes through the EMA, you could also make an argument that you could have bought the close of 19 once you have confirmation it's above the moving average, and you still could have made probably about at least 20 points. So definitely some missed opportunities in here and some great trades that I'm guessing a lot of traders took today. Um, I just kind of felt like I missed it, and I thought about maybe buying, 18 or maybe 19, but at this point it was already two pushes up, and I wasn't sure when the pullback was going to happen, if there's going to be a third leg. So I just stayed away from it. I feel like every time you miss a trade, the market will give you lots of opportunities to make it back. And then it kind of fizzles out, as you can see. Like I said, it kind of gets this not great fourth push up. It starts going sideways. Kind of momentum is failing. It's now kind of pushing down and going sideways, trying to figure out if it's going to resume this bull trend or maybe get a reversal. And this was probably the worst trade I took the whole entire day, or it 100% was. On the 15-minute chart, you guys can see that there's a big rip up here, and then you get this pullback, and the pullback kind of fails to go to close below the EMA. It kind of closes right on it, but I thought this was going to be a rejection and a trend reversal, because I thought the 15-minute chart needed a second leg up. So I just jumped into it prematurely. I just was being a little greedy, didn't want to leave any points on the table. So I bought the close of 36 after this getting a very strong close within the 80s of IBS. Good bar up to restart the trend, but you're trading already against these three bars down. 36 is way more significant than 37, but I just thought the rejection off the EMA was promising. So I bought the close, and of course, right when it goes against me, I got out down 5 points on 39 because it went completely against my hypothesis. So at this point, I was up 5 points on the day, and then you kind of get sideways, but kind of two pushes down, one pullback, two pullback, and then you actually get a third. But I feel like this is more of a trading range, trying to kind of figure out if the bulls are going to resume or the bears are going to maybe take over. And this is kind of where I really see the bears take over. So from 42 to 46, you get a very strong five bar micro channel leg down. So you get this one leg down. You have three massive micro gaps. You have strong IBS bars, time, distance factor, three tick gaps. This is everything that you want to see as a trader, as a big momentum indicator. Over 14 points down, over 20 points on a tie. And then you could see on 47, once again, it's like my favorite trade. Tries to push back to the EMA. It has failure, doesn't close with strong EMA or strong upward trajectory at all. Way more likely that it's going to get a second push down. So I sold the contract at the close of 47. And something I like to do when I'm scaling into a winning position, so when I buy another contract, is I like to buy a contract on the pullback, and then once I get confirmation, buy another contract so I'm getting them at the best price. So I looked at this as this was a trading range reset, the leg count, one push down, pullback failure, bought a contract, confirmation of trend resumption, or multiple legs going down. So then I bought another contract on 48. And then it kind of goes sideways again, and you could argue that this is one pullback, two, pullback, three, pullback, four pushes down at this point. I kind of think this is a trading range in this restart of the leg count, but it definitely gets a lot of sideways momentum. The bulls are really trying to fight to have a position back up. They're trying to see if the bears are exhausted yet. And so you get this push up, and then this was definitely a pretty scary bar. I was right at break even, thought about taking it, but I had the hypothesis. Me and my trading partner, we were in our conference call, and we both kind of had the hypothesis. Him more so than me, so huge shout out to James. That the bears were going to try to push down to the open of the day and close a bunch of these micro gaps that had made from earlier, and try to at least test the open. And clearly it blew through it, but I'll get into that when I get there. So kind of sat through this, had good patience, was kind of moving. I kind of had a tighter stop loss once I saw 49 through 54, because it was going sideways and it could have changed on me. And you kind of have two pushes down here, but there's definitely a strong chance that it's going to try to fill some more of these micro gaps from earlier. So I still my the hypothesis and thesis that me and my trading partner hadn't quite died yet. I think if it would have jumped up here after on 54, would have pushed through the EMA, we would have both gotten out. But it hadn't closed below or above the EMA yet, so that was still a big indicator to us that it was probably going to try to test the open. And then of course it kind of gets one complicated pullback through here. Bulls trying to fight back in, trying to get above the EMA. They fail to get above the EMA and give up. And then you get a huge rip down to the open of the day and even testing a new low of the day and blowing through the previous low that we had earlier this morning. So I scaled in twice up here after this five bar micro channel, leg one down, and then took 25 points at the open on this bar, a little bit above the open. Um, could have easily, that's why I had this marked out. I was already up 25 points here. I could have made an extra 30 with two contracts. That probably would have been closer to, I don't know, 60 points altogether. So definitely left some points on the table, but I wasn't willing to risk that. I had a clear, or me and my trading partner both had a clear hypothesis and thesis. And once that hit, we got out and took our full take profit. So you can see it's kind of a very bull trend to start off the day, or you kind of start off a little bearish, and then the bulls get a very good rally, and then the bears take over. So you get a trend reversal throughout the day. You could maybe even look at it as a trading range, the bottom of the trading range, kind of on 12 and 13. Top of the trading range gets up to about 34 when it kind of dies off, and it touches the top of the trading range, rejects off, and then wants to test the bottom of the trading range again, and also close some of these micro gaps from earlier in the day. It's exactly what it does. It gets multiple pushes down, and then the rest of the day just goes into a trading range and goes sideways. After so much momentum, both in the upwards and downwards positions all day, I think it was kind of fizzled out and just needed some sideways movement, like the last hour, 30 minutes of the day. And then you can see it gets a good push at the end of the day on 81. So we might have a bullish day tomorrow, but that's for the market to decide. So yeah, those were my trades that I made, and some also great trades that you guys could have made, or hopefully you guys did make. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back next week with a video every single day, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.